The world right now is the ship of Theseus, a ship which has each board of it ripped up and replaced by a new board, nearly identical. Is it still called the ship of Theseus? When the ship is America and the boards are its people, its religion, its rights, its culture, its language, it isn't the same. It is wholly different. People seem to believe these days that things will mostly remain the same, that any changes and any progress that happens is going to happen in such a manner that it won't significantly affect their lives. But really, we are in a time of absolute change. Deeply imbued into us are these assurances of things like civil liberties, popular sovereignty, the American way of life. We only understand the alternatives to these innate and natural things of civil liberty and human rights in learned means through supervillain dictators trying to oppress people for no reason, or in school when we're children learning about Nazis and about communists. And this is the worldview from which so many people operate. The only image of tyranny which they can conjure in their mind is a bunch of KGB agents coming to their door and saying, "We're sending you to the gulag. Our reasoning, it's because we're evil, dude." So right now, when the United Kingdom looks at freedom of speech and then criminalizes every aspect of freedom of speech which in any way challenges the establishment ruling class, all they have to do is explain their reasoning through the mindset of the masses. And suddenly, it's not that they want to be able to put people in jail for 2 years for contradicting the government narrative. It's, hey guys, we need to stop the spread of misinformation. Knowingly spreading misinformation is dangerous to our democracy. We're just talking about those pesky anti-vaxxers. You guys have been taught to hate them enough, haven't you? It's not like we want the vague, broad, and undefined ability to imprison anyone for any speech that they make. It's we are going after violent psychological assaults on people on the internet by using mean words and mean language. It's not about control, it's about stopping criminals. And in these violent online psychological assaults which are taking place constantly, people are saying mean things constantly, it needs to stop, it's an epidemic. It doesn't even matter what the content of what the person said, because it could still have a harmful effect on the person reading it. And that's what matters. Stopping harm. Stopping hate speech. Multiple people who get mad at someone and send them messages on the internet, that's pile-on harassment. It could be deadly. The proposed bill in the UK goes further. They wish to track every person on the internet, know who every single person is, know what everything that they do on the internet at all times. But in effect, it will give ultimate power to the political establishment of England to persecute and prosecute anyone saying anything despite the content on the internet for up to 2 years in jail. And that will be called justice. In America, we like to think that we're so much better than all this, that it could never happen to us. But England, the rest of the West, are progressing in this direction, and they are our closest ideological allies. Even Joe Biden has multiple times gone up and made a speech saying that misinformation is akin to yelling fire in a crowded theater, which, by the way, is a legal argument against free speech. As long as there is justification for whatever tyranny is being imposed, and the tyranny is being imposed in such a small increment that it is not going to change their way of life immediately, the masses will not notice it. We've been taught essentially since birth through everything to only be able to identify tyranny when it is happening dramatically, to only identify the abrupt and complete change of a country when it happens dramatically, when there are communists on the street, when you are being forced on your knees to accept it so we do not notice subtlety. We are out in the woods looking for bears who are planning to maul us, but we already have a snake attached to our leg, injecting venom directly into our bloodstream. But in the end, the change is complete, absolute. America will be unrecognizable, but still called America, still with the illusions of the rights and the principles and the heritage that it had. But if you were transported from 1990, 40 years into the future to 2030, you would not recognize it whatsoever. And the majority wishes for this. The majority dreams of this. They clap happily as they see tyranny march in because they believe that they will benefit from it. The mindless clapping seals who support all of this stuff, all of these tyrannical measures, despite the fact that they think that they are some Star Wars resistance fighter. It's only a secret if you wouldn't cheer for it. I'll let you see into the future. I'll let you look and see what things will be like, and I'll let them explain my exact argument to you.
Let me tell you something about LGBTQ rights, about trans rights. This is only going in one direction. You will respect us. You can be upset. You can be angry. You can think it's unfair. You can feel like we're stealing something from you. But it's still only going in one direction. You will respect us. Do not tell people to just ignore the haters. Some of us are very, very sensitive, and the solution to trauma, abuse, bullying is not to teach us to become more tolerant of the bullying.